It's the 9th of January 2011, and you're looking at Super Mamika, concerned that his beloved grandmother, Frederica, who's 91, was a little bit depressed. The photographer Sasha Goldsberger had her dan her spandex, and he shot a series of Super Mamika shots. There she is with a Citroen. There she is on her treadmill flying, and here she is reading about superheroes. You're reading the Irish Sunday papers in my back garden in Ireland on Sunday, the 9th of January, and I'm looking first at the Independent, which ran yesterday, Saturday, because it tells a lot about the ruins of Ireland from the point of view of David, who pens the story, "If I was Taoiseach, what would I do to save Ireland?" 10 main steps to rescue Ireland from the burning flames of fiscal ruin. He says, McWilliams says, we're in a balance sheet recession, and it's rather immoral to do what the government's doing, just cashing out to save the bigger German and French banks. Step by step. McWilliams claims you need a referendum. The people need to say, hang on there. We need to restructure how we do bank debt negotiation, starting with rescinding the bank guarantee, and closing down NEMA, and forcing bondholders to take a hit. Bondholders become shareholders. Tell the ECB, hey lads, we're doing this. We've got national will behind us. Step 7, 97 billion euro deposits have currently been made to the Irish banks. Need to be converted into share capital. That's going to hurt the ECB a little bit. But hey, what? You can't do it any other way. Step 8, help the little guy make mortgages non-recourse. So, you can be quickly declared bankrupt and move on in life. Step 9, let every Irish citizen, no matter where they live, vote. And step 10, pretty interesting, one that deserves a blog post on its own. McWilliams says there's $800 billion of U.S. multinational money in the IFSC. Convert some of that into money which could be spun into the startup industry in Ireland. That's $80 billion. Set up companies using U.S. money. Combine that with Irish labor and the tax system, let them cash out with a really favorable result, and help Ireland into the 21st century of industrial policy. Now, the next Taoiseach isn't listening to me, but you know what? The next Taoiseach, who won't be David McWilliams, certainly reads the Irish Independent. I'm meeting every potential TD at the steps of my house, asking him what he thinks about that, what he or she thinks about that. Poor Roy, left go, face to face with failure. Roy Keane, probably Ireland's most legendary footballer, not cut out for managerial duty. Have a quick look at the Sunday Business Post. You can see what I'm talking about here at www.insideview.ie. On Twitter, I'm topgold. Some stuff inside here, quickly summarizing CES. John Pivoy, if you're listening. Some of your stuff fell into the middle of this paper. And the digital media course, Tipper Institute, I want to highlight that as well. But inside, the face of Mark Little, at Storyful, at Mark Little News on Twitter, shoveled another 25 or 75,000 euro into his project, according to a news report, I think written by Gavin Daly in the Sunday Business Post. Inside the Sunday Business Post, plenty of stuff about going to college. As you might know, I work in third level. I'm specifically working in this area called digital media, and you can follow our musings online at Twitter at @LITConMel on Twitter. Some good stuff here by Nicola Cook, pointing out that there are some core proficiencies behind digital media training, like public relations, online journalism, knowing how to work the web. And the case of what we're doing at Tipper Institute, very strong work experience component of the course there. Digital media is here to stay. You need about 300 points to get into the course that we're running. Worth it. Hey, Adrian Weckler, well put. Social media may be the next tech bubble. Believe it, a lot of hype out there. Adrian's report from the electronic show CES. Quick headline that says it's dominated. CES was dominated by tablets, Android, and Google TV. Hey, John Pivoy, don't you like that Zoom? So do I. Let's get my hands on one of those. Motorola Zoom. Nice way of handling stuff like content, your television, and on screen. Sunday Times gives away a really front page breaking story about the Fitzpatrick tapes, and inside some stuff about how we got here. Fitzpatrick tapes give you that. It's a story. It's a book, a series of tapes. And also inside the Sunday Times, some stuff about them as us, a theme. Poor lady, gunman fired on this congresswoman in Tucson, Gabriella Giffords. The guy is demented, paranoid schizophrenic. But hey, Tom Lyons and Brian Carey have the front story, big story behind the meltdown in Ireland. And it's a book called The Fitzpatrick Tapes that the story kind of profiles. Buy it at O'Mahony's. That's what I'm going to do in Limerick. And I'm going to take it as part of the Christmas birthday present. Today's my birthday. You can wish me happy birthday if you wish on Twitter. As you know, on certain social networks, nobody actually knows when I was born, but today is the day. Dermot Ahern faces the Wiki row. I entitled this thing called WikiLeaks. And Ahern apparently talked to an American diplomat saying that, listen, we need to set up some stuff, some random inspections of U.S. military cargo planes so he can get cover if a special rendition flight was ever found. I mean, look, Dermot, you actually don't even need to do that kind of handshake. You could just simply have had the Shannon boys do that. You know, just get a standard charter service plane with U.S. servicemen aboard and have a look and call it an inspection. You don't need to handshake. You could have just done it on your own and had your cover. But I don't know. It's like Dermot doesn't know how to do that. Richard Woods writes a story that's emerging in England. The Prime Minister there has this concept of nudging people into better behavior. Now, for example, if you're going to apply for online for a driving license in England, you have these little boxes that say that, well, look, I'd like to be an organ donor, or B, I don't want to answer this question now, or C, I'm already an organ donor. Unless you answer the question, you can't proceed forward on your online app. Behavioral insight. So there's a cabin office outfit called the Behavioral Insight Team, BIT. Different key factors identified what nudges people to better behavior. I mean, to me, I think that would make it synonymous with loutism. Loud cars, one letter separates you from the word lout, are as rude as dumping your rubbish on the side of the road. But that'll never happen in Ireland. What has kind of happened is Johnny Fitzpatrick is kind of standing in public, and that disgraced banker, the vilified former head of Anglo-Irish Bank, is telling for the first time an inside story of what led to the meltdown. Frank Fitzgibbon, who's the editor of the Sunday Times, points out in another article in this paper, we need to know how we got there, and the Fitzpatrick tapes are one good way of doing that. You can buy it in Penguin, but not online today, even though the article inside this paper says it is available for sale. I'm getting it in Limerick, like I said, out of Mahony's. Public service chiefs must face the music, Matt Cooper writes in his opinion section area. He's questioning people like Dermot McCarthy, who was a top secretarial position from January 2000, advising on Taoiseach in the Department of Taoiseach. His advice was critical. So what about him? David Doyle, previous Secretary General of the Department of Finance, was present at the meetings when different kind of bank guarantees were met to and agreed to. And Kevin Cardiff, who's replaced him, you got to ask, our civil service is running a system that has a deficit of more than $18 billion between what it takes in and what it spends. That was inside the public sector, the private sector. Those guys would be given walking papers. All right, I'm walking today. Lovely day, isn't it? You can see the frost out there on the grass. You can see my footprints leading to my compost bin. And Peter Donegan, if you're listening, I'm looking forward to a Sunday walk late in January, wherever you have it going on. Before then, I'll have my back garden cleaned up, maybe some bulbs planted. Thanks a million for listening. You can see the progress of this back garden as it emerges into another brilliant, colorful spring on flickr.com/photos/Irish eyes. And keep up with me if you wish. I'm over on Twitter. My nickname there is topgold. Thanks a million for listening. Bye for now.